I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Hyuna Ferrin joins me. Hi.
Hi, thank you for the invite. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Let's see. I usually don't do my intro, but I know I should. As a professional streamer, I should probably get in the hang of it. But hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. My name is Hyuna Ferrin. I am Earth Requiem summoner representative here on Earth Prime. I have some sort of lore, some sort of like powerful background and etc. But I'm, at least if you've caught me recently, I've just been chilling in a cave. So that's me.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to get away from your past a little bit and forge ahead a new future, even if it's just resting in a cave.
Well, it's my cave, so that's the most important part. It's my cave. It's my little hole. Past whatever. I'm comfortable.
Yes, and the rent's controlled too. So.
We do not. We don't talk about rent. I totally just found this cave. I didn't just steal it from someone or whatever.
Yeah, it's totally not on Mount Rushmore or anything like that. But
oh boy.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. How long have you been doing the VTuber thing?
Let's see. 2026. I'd say for about. Well, actually, if we're coming to February. Mm-hmm. February is my affiliate anniversary. I'd say about 5 years on and off.
Wow. So you are a veteran.
I will say I'm a veteran in terms of what I've seen and how I've seen the overall VTuber community grow. But I wouldn't say like a veteran in like that sort of like in comparison to like the high names like Iron Mouse or Zentrea type of names.
Well, I'll say it. So you don't have to say it. and then if it's wrong, then they'll yell at me instead. I'm used to that. I was in radio for a long time. It's just gonna like water off a duck's back at this point. So what got you started in content creating as a whole?
Well, I gotta look through the old testaments of Hyuna Ferrin here, because I actually don't remember. Like, there was a time where I like any others, especially OG YouTube with like Markiplier and Smosh. Mm-hmm. There was a thought process of doing that, but that was like back in high school.
Yeah. It
was only until, and then ironically enough, I was talking about my old guild earlier. My previous guild, when I was in lore, but also kind of IRL, we were really into tabletop games. Mm-hmm. And for a while, we were able to cultivate a community through a combination of text-based roleplay, and it grew into something that when I left, I wanted to carry that forward. So I say like it was back like 2016, 2017. Because the thing that I really enjoyed with all of that, minus behind the scenes stuff, was just that like, regardless of whatever type of content creation there is, it tends to bring people together. And I'm just like, hey, I am totally down for this.
Yeah. It's certainly, and given the potential audience and the potential people you bring together, I mean, literally 90% of the world population could tune in at any moment.
Oh yeah, which is it both fascinates me but terrifies me in like a cosmic sense.
Yes.
Which in a way helps me just, all right, cosmic sense, let's kind of cultivate down to a tiny thing. Yeah. All right, maybe it's a slight numbness, but I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. 1,000 people watch me, sure. Yeah. But maybe it's like 1 or 2, and I'm like, that's even better. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, it's a kind of a unique thing too, though, because kind of like the old radio days when they had real people on radio. Way back in the old days, There,
They don't anymore? Is it just
well,
robots now?
a lot of it, some more than you think, or at least pre-taped or satellite. One of those.
Oh, okay. No,
Not a
I
lot of
get that.
local radio anymore. Um, the the idea was that you were the audience. The audience was X amount of people, whether it's 100 or 1,000 or 10, um, and you still had to kind of present yourself, and it's your personality that brought the people back. Um, and when somebody comes up and said, "Oh yeah, I listen to your show all the time. I tune in this that to hear what you're doing," that's quite an ego boost. When you started getting folks coming back to your stuff once you kind of left that guild, how did that
Hmm.
make you feel?
Well, uh, at first, and it is a realizations that I even noticed like now. At the time, it was a lot of, you know, screw that guild, screw those people. I'm tired. I'm grabbing everything. I'm F you
Yeah,
type of thing.
slam the door.
And yeah, and at the time it was a lot of uh like I was in like a dark headspace at the time. So like there were a lot of me trying to like grab hold of anything.
Right.
And when people started coming in, I was in a combination of like, oh, hey, new people, new avenues, a new direction with stuff. But I could also tell I was very overwhelmed.
Mm.
Now looking back, I'm just like, I just experienced almost every anime main character getting kicked out of like a guild or a hero party.
Yes.
And I'm people from my guild are talking to me again. I'm like, what's going on right now? I don't want to be in an anime. I actually no thank you. So with the new changes of things, and especially with the last couple of years, has been on and off, and just seeing new people and seeing old people reconnection, I'm just like, it's both a breath of fresh air, but also a big eye opening, because I thought at one point, wherever I was, like oh, tabletop and all of this is just one section, and then just pivoting to somewhere else is like, oh, not only is there other bigger communities, not to say tabletop isn't,
right,
but they're all intersecting with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, everyone does have different interests, not solely focused on one thing, and it's just like mind explosion.
What you found out was life isn't 2D.
Life, well, I'm. You say that, I'm stuck in 2D form. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yes and no.
Yeah, but I mean,
yes.
It's like you realize that some people do this and they also do this, and some people do this and they do this instead, and it's over that but you're talking about a 10-year period, really. I mean, it is 2026. People can do a lot of growing during that time, and
oh yeah,
and
like I knew with the different like hobbies and such, like yes, there are, of course, everyone likes these things, but then VTubing opening to these directions and everyone else doing their own thing, but combining stuff, and it doesn't have to be separate communities and such. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Oh yeah, it's expanding people's worlds and shrinking them at the same time. I think where you expanding in that the number of people you now who now know who you are is fairly large, but the world is also small in that you can talk to somebody on the other side of the world just by picking up your microphone.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so it's a combination of both, and do you kind of get a kick out of that? Knowing that that somebody in another country is there waiting for you. It's just it's kind of they're waiting for me. Why are they waiting for me? That sort of thing.
Yeah, like the way that I describe my personality to some people, if I don't have enough time to like sit down with them, is like I'm like a black cat. sometimes I'll be there. Sometimes I want you to pet me. Sometimes I'm like, nah, back off.
Yeah.
But with how communities are formed and even interacting with other streamers, other content creators, I'm like, like I'm happy that that's kind of my thought process of interacting with people, because there's just like, they're all different types of cats with anxiety and social batteries of different degree.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're talking to somebody who's got 9 cats, so yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. Every single one of them is different. And I can tell by their yelling which one it is from across the house and why they're yelling and who they're yelling
That's
at.
amazing.
Sheldon? It's usually Sheldon. the big orange and white cat, it's usually Sheldon. He's Jethro. He has very little brain to go with his brawn, and doesn't know his own strength, and he's usually chasing one of the other cats around the house. It's usually Sheldon. With what you've been able to do since then, are you surprised you've been able to do as well as you have with it on your own, or did you really have any goals when you set out on your own?
Well, my main goal, and it's still my main goal to this day, but now things have changed. As I've said before, when I stepped into VTubing, I was not in the greatest headspace.
Mm-hmm.
And the main goal in the end, and I have noticed that it's also with other people too, it's a twofer. Work on my social skills, and also I'm a lonely individual online. I like to make friends. Best way to start doing that is just, I guess, talking to a camera with this model. Sure, whatever.
Yeah. And were you easily able to? Because I can't. It would be. I think it would be a little different that doing a tabletop game where you kind of have to concentrate on what's going on in front of you, and not so much worry about the people who are streaming, and then going on yourself, and the people that you're talking to are the stream. It has to be some sort of going from fourth gear to reverse type of shift.
In a way, yes, but I also found that my time with the guild helped me in some ways, because one of the biggest things that was both a pro and con for like tabletop and kind of what I see in the VTuber community, this is not a dig to anyone, but it's kind of obvious that some characters and lore, they're Mary Sue's, and everyone has their own opinion on it. But I love that one of the biggest aspect of it, and people can have arguments with it, is just like, you can't really put yourself into the character too much, or else stuff in story might bleed into IRL and vice versa.
Right.
And when taking that type of thought process and what I need to tackle as both as a GM and as a player and into VTubing, it kind of helps me navigate both the good and bad when it comes to interacting with other VTubers, and also kind of understanding why some people are so fixated on. I know streamers who do really focus on, when it's stream, I'm a vampire goddess, but when I'm off stream, I'm blah, blah, blah type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also understand when people aren't really into that in itself, but also really, really want to grasp on their own individuality of customizable models, getting art of themselves done, or working with like technologies like voice mod and etc. to get the voice they want.
Right.
It might seem very extra, very Mary Sue with how big they try to put themselves into, but I can also see that in the end, both on content creation and also in tabletop, it is just a matter of just finding your own comfort. Mm-hmm. And yes, there are the extremes that even I can say, as long as it makes you happy, that's cool. It's not my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. But besides that, I'm just like, it it's people trying to be people with some sort of avatar. So it's like, oh, it's just another character on another adventure doing their own thing.
Mm.
Yes, there's someone behind the mask, but cool.
Yeah. I think I get a lot of people who say that by having that avatar out there, they get to be more themselves than they would normally in off the air, for lack of a better term, um, because they can be a little sillier. They can be a little more risk taking because
Mm-hmm.
it's not their face on the screen. Do you think that's true?
I do see it. I believe that is true. I don't believe that applies to me fully because um I I am not one of those that want 100% of like being anonymous because I also dip my toes into like cosplay
Mm-hmm.
and other avenues that is separate.
Mm-hmm.
And um in the end, regardless of how it is, it's an extension of someone,
Right.
and that's I feel like is the best thing when it comes to VTubing. It's just it allows other hobbies and avenues to just kind of be easily be able to express from that individual.
Mm. Yeah, I think so. I think so, and it gives them just that little extra confidence boost.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't always come naturally. And a lot of people I've talked to, I would say 75 to 80% of the people that I talk to, when we get back a little further in their lives, they talk about being not the most social people in the world, introverted, some very
Mm-hmm.
very introverted, and this has allowed them to come out of that shell a little bit. But the other, I hear a lot of folks too every once in a while talk about how extroverted they are, and this just gives them more chance to talk to more people.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
find myself in I don't know, I don't remember the terminology. You're like a little bit of both type of, but you lean towards one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Um, more of a person who go out and shake hands and kiss babies, or someone who just kind of stood there and waved from the sidelines.
I'm a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's more of a push for as like a personal 2026 goal. But I'm like, anytime I see an opportunity of a what if, I'm like, I don't want it to be a what if. I'll just do it. Sure, why not? I don't care. I'm stuck in a situation that I actually don't like. Well, all right, cool. Now I've learned.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough to do. I mean, even
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, even at this age, which is a lot, um, it taking
So God, okay.
yeah, well, not quite that old, pretty old.
No, that means you're eternal. That you're timeless.
Well, as far as I know, I am so far. all you guys could just be like some type of weird program out there. I saw the movies.
He's been talking to himself this entire time, ladies, Jensen, magistrates.
Yes,
He's all by himself.
And I've been answering too, and I don't like what I'm hearing. There's an internal problem for you. The ability to project the image of yourself you want on the internet
Mm-hmm.
is so big for a lot of folks who are who believe that they are marginalized, or they just aren't afraid to show that, or haven't been able to show certain aspects of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you've done this where what you show online is an aspect that you don't normally show in public?
Oh yeah. Mm. If anything, I think the part that I've realized that has helped me when it comes to content creation as a whole is to build a little bit more of a backbone, because there's a part of me that in the end wants to be as authentic as I can be with anything and everything that I do.
Right.
And especially when it comes to like boundaries and such. And as of, one of the cons that I see in terms of mentioning even the word VTubers to quote normal non-VTuber fan people is the drama. And I'm just like, a lot of those dramas stemmed with a lot of things that even I have a bad time with: communication, drawing the line,
Right.
and etc. And I know I have the hardest time doing that in person because of my stature, where I live, and etc.
Right.
So at the very least, if I really want to protect myself in whatever avenue, and at least for this, my online self, I want to try and be that character that I made, as that's like so strong and, can't, no words are going to hurt me type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I might not be that 100%, I'm just like, you know what? I'm at least, if I look back 10 years ago, I'm just like, yeah, I have more of a backbone now. Still crybaby sometimes, but, I'll punch back if needed.
Yeah. And and again, this has kind of allowed you to manifest that a little bit, from what I'm getting, what you're saying. And again, just another kind of a side benefit of this. I'm sure that's not what you were looking for when you first decided to be a VTuber, was that sort of benefit. But here it is. Would you have gotten this far without VTubing?
Probably not, because when things hit like when things had hit a bad chord with the guild as I was leaving, there was the talk, when the content creator talk. Do I still love what I'm doing? Can I keep creating type of stuff?
Right.
And who knows, maybe I would have, maybe not in VTubing, maybe into something else. But it was also, when did I leave? It was also like in the middle of COVID.
Right.
So that also added some sort of anxiety and tension to trying to figure out at least this part of my life. But then someone pointed out VTubing, and at the very least, I was like, this looks like another form of like paper and pencil. I'll just, what's the harm? Sure, why not? And if something good comes out of it, cool.
Yeah.
If not, at least I tried something. At least I tried to keep the fire going, even just a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, would you host, or have you been hosting tabletop games on your channel?
I have not. It has been on my mind to doing that. I have taken in consideration like how other people have done their own like not matches. Well, you could. But like their own D&D adventures and such. But I've also realized right away very fast that tabletop and VTubing has one of the many few problems with stuff, and that's scheduling stuff.
Yeah.
And making things work, and even an added con, at least, I wouldn't say a con, but like something else I need to take consideration. I would like to try and have chat, the community, have an input. Especially if I wanted to do it live and so forth. So I'm like, technically, even if I have like 4 other streamers, it's technically a tabletop game of a GM and 5 players, because the 5th player is chat. I want to keep them entertained.
And now you do.
But I also,
it's more than one chat too. It's more than one chat. I mean, you got their chats if they're streaming as well.
Oh yeah. If they're also streaming it as well, and that's like I've seen both the pros and cons. I've been seeing like how people handle it, why people don't like it, why people like certain systems, because that's its own whole. The many times where I will throw the idea and they're like, "Oh, what type of tabletop system?" It's like, well, I say D&D, and everyone is just like turned. I was like, I'm just listing off tabletops. Give me a second. I just got to start from the top. Tabletop.
Yeah,
Pathfinder. There you go.
yeah,
Anything else?
yes, got to start from the OG and go from there. That's
Mm-hmm.
how you work. And I've talked to so many folks who've been doing D&D recently. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
amazed that the little game I played back in the '80s is still going on. It's still going strong. Of course, now there's 25 volumes of things when there's just one book back then. But
Oh yeah, and the prices. I'm like, those dragons. They already got all my money. I don't need to pay more for Strahd the 5th edition or something.
oh my gosh, that was something we had. I had a Commodore 64 back in the day, back in the
Mm-hmm.
really old days. But we had D&D gold box games, which actually were very as close as you could get to running a D&D campaign. I think
Mm.
it was very. I enjoyed it immensely and played it over and over and over again. Very strict to the rules. They had to obviously, because the Commodore 64 running system, you have more power in your, watch than than
Ah.
what they had in that. But they did what they could with it, and it was still a lot of fun. Um, but those are obviously so much the ancestors to about 90% of the games people are playing now. That that if you're going down and dissing on D&D, I mean there's a lot of games you're dissing on
Oh
in
yeah.
the family
Yeah.
tree. There's a lot to that. But what other tabletop games would you be working on?
Well, gosh, what was the one I was joking around with? Oh, okay, now I remember it because like there's just like I want to explore more of D&D as a whole because I started out with 3.5
Mm.
and I missed that edition.
Oh,
But I know that's too much math for people
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah.
But like I do want to go back through each edition that there's been because I have been very curious of how things have changed in terms of lore and like how one edition story of a certain god is completely different than the other. I've been interested with Pathfinder. Funny enough, the first D&D games that I ever got into, I could have gotten into a Pathfinder game and had a completely different life with different people,
Yes.
like IRL. But I was like, nah, I'll do 3.5. What's the harm?
Yeah.
But there's a tabletop system called Exalted, and the only reason why I'm like the only reason I could see it work
Mhm.
is it can get well, because from my point of view, and with the games that I like to see and such, once a lot of games go, haha, funny number, that's a lot of number, that's a lot of damage, everyone's like, ooh, sparkly,
Yeah.
type of thing. I understand that with Dark Souls, Binding of Isaac, all that.
Right.
Exalted is exactly the same thing. I believe that if I recall correctly, there is a certain boss that's, I don't know, CR 1,000,000. You're essentially fighting the sun.
Oh.
And someone or some company, group of people actually had like written out a sheet or two of like, these are its abilities and etc. And I'm like, this is anime enough that you could do something with it. Maybe, tell everyone don't look at the numbers, but like try and, amp up the role play, because I know that's why a lot of people really like 5e and other systems that are starting to become like it,
Yeah.
or branching from it, is like the role play aspect.
Yeah.
But I'm also someone is like, okay, just because you're a god, I know you're powerful, but can I see your stats, please? Can I see your credentials? Just some sort of numerical, realistic. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's like 1,000,000 in strength.
Yes.
I'm not gonna believe that, but it's there. It's written. Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hit points. Just like you have to buy another book to fit the numbers in that one. Yeah. We when the first ones came out, they had listed gods, but it's like, why would you even put them in the game? You're never gonna get powerful enough to be able to fight them.
Oh no! But nowadays, people are like, "I am a god. I am a demigod." I was like, "Well, give me a second. I'm trying to figure out how to stat things now against you."
Yes, especially as a DM, because back then the whole point of playing was to frustrate the DM as much as possible, and we did that. We were really good at that.
I was told, I have been told that I was a goody two-shoe player, and I was like, "What does that mean?" It's like you weren't trying to make like 46 or like what is it? What was it like 4600 ever dancing whirling chains. You just wanted to be a barbarian that was strong, and I was like, but it's like, no, you're fine. That one's not fine. You're fine. I'm like, oh, okay.
Cast whirling chains.
Oh Lord.
No, we had folks. We had not only were the folks that I was in the party with, kind of loony, but one of them had approximately the IQ of all of California added together. That type of thing. He was.
Oh my goodness.
He was ridiculously smart. He's the guy that learned chess in 20 minutes. That type of guy. That's a true story.
I know some people that are like that.
Yeah, they're scary, but they're funny. So we would just like nudge him, like, "Can we do this?" Yeah, you should be able to. Okay. We just beat everything in your dungeon. And he's like, "What?" And then we give him the reason for it, and he said, "Okay, what do I need to do to have this reversed?"
Yeah.
Like, be better. We got you beat.
But then when you say that to certain adventurers, they're like, "Well, you know what? I can handle this myself. I don't need you." And then you just watch them die, and you're like, mm-hmm.
Yep, there you go. Now, you said you did some, or dip your toe into cosplay every once in a while.
Yes.
So how did you get started with that?
Goodness, that is an extra. That's like pulling that back. I'm pulling out the scrolls of time. I got into that roughly the same time when I was really getting into anime.
Mm-hmm.
During the 4Kids era.
Okay.
The sweet dub.
Yes.
And I heard of it, but I didn't really think much of it. Mm-hmm. And I later got into conventions. I know later down the line, but for the time I was like, this cosplay is so cool, but it's so expensive. And where can you get orange colored pants or blue colored shirt or whatever? So what I did was just like, I just started incorporating into my everyday outfit, gelling up my hair to look as like spiky as Yo Asakura from Shaman King. So like with the Goku, triangle-esque and etc.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it was a combination of I love reading mangas. I love watching animes. Mm-hmm. I wanted to try and draw it. I wanted to do everything around that type of genre, and it blossomed into its own thing. Nitpick characters that I like.
Yeah. And did you go to conventions and such?
I did up until like 2016, 2017. Whenever I transitioned, a combination of transitioning into like the tabletop scene and. Mm-hmm. I don't know, the early 2000s of anime conventions I lived it. And there's a reason why conventions are as how they are. So I'm like, yep.
You've come out the other side, and you're happy you're there.
Oh yeah.
we shall leave that cliffhanger where it is. People can draw their own conclusions to that sort of thing. So were you? You mentioned kind of wanting to draw too. Are you doing that as an artist now?
Yes.
Mm.
Though I will thank VTubing and streaming. It one of the things I noticed real fast right away, in terms of like, and I loosely say discourse, but like it's the discourse of Eastern and Western style.
Mm-hmm.
And I realizing that was an issue, or like I say a smaller issue than a lot of others. It was almost like a PTSD retriggering when it came to tabletop stuff.
Yeah.
Because that was also something in mine of both art style and also different type of games that there are, or rulings and etc. And people being like, I don't want it to be too anime, but then they want to do something so anime or so video game like. And I can tell you most definitely, it's like I really struggled within the last 5 to 6 years of like, it's going to anime, but okay, I'll do more Western. I'm starting to hate Western. I'll go more anime.
Yeah.
So at the very least, like I'm at least starting to become really happy of finding the middle ground of the two, because I love crafting and so forth, and the fact that I'm still drawing is something that I'm just like, I'm going to hold on to this for as long as possible.
Well, as long as you're enjoying it is the thing. And,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are people out there who are pouring out art, and bless them, they're doing what they can, but they're doing it for money, and they're doing it for commission and only commission.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I also I do want a rich person to adopt me, and I live in their mansion, and I dedicate my life by painting and drawing them. But I'm also like, and I've learned that through VTubing. It was just like, it could kill money, monetization, and all that type of thought process can really kill the drive.
Absolutely. And it really doesn't matter what you're in. It's as far as whether you're an artist in the kitchen, whether you're an artist on the canvas, or you're a musical artist. And then suddenly, not only is that happening, but you're doing something now to somebody else's specifics. If you were drawing your favorite manga character, and somebody says, "Here's X amount of money. I want you to draw my daughter as this, that, the other thing," and now your creative processes are very limited, because you got to do it to their liking, not necessarily yours.
Oh yeah.
And that would, and first of all, I would never do art in the first place because I know it's bad. Mine is not good. But that kind of doing it on somebody else's time and doing it on somebody else's dime it can really take the heart out of you if you do it long enough.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm always so curious of how like the big names, how they handle themselves more off stream type of thing. Like I would love to, again, slightly parasocial, but it's more like I'd love to know just how they handle their day to day, because I'm just like, whatever they're doing is what we should really strive for in terms of like separating ourselves from our work and our personal lives type of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also am trying to, because I do want to get back into accepting more commissions, doing bigger projects. I am trying to look at those type of requests as like, well, technically, I'm offering them a blank sheet of paper for them to just give me the basis of the idea. And what they're giving me back is the infamous, square. You got to color in the box in a certain way and so forth.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why they're wanting to commission me.
So maybe the square isn't like a hard line. Maybe it's just a dotted line. So I can go outside of the bounds, but still stay within reason for these people. Because again, they wanted my work for a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, I'll give you that and a little bit more for myself to just be okay with it.
So what do you do if you give that to somebody and they say, this is not what I wanted at all. Why did you do this? And they get, customer-y.
Customary.
Yeah. And
I haven't come across, like, I've come across the bit minimum. I'm just like, can we do a lighter color?
Yeah.
I don't like how this is drawn, type of thing. But if it ever gets in that direction, I do turn on Hyuna Ferrin customer service, because I have worked in like a designer.
Yeah.
What would you call this? People who design and print stuff and paint and etc. The fancy posters thingies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've had people be like, actually, this was not what I requested. And I'm just like, I apologize that this has not met your needs. Do you understand? I do have a policy and we can discuss this further. Or even at least there has been a few times where I'm just like, hey, don't use that language on me, because I will use that language back on you.
Yeah.
We're adults.
Yeah. There's difference between being, human about it. Like, oh, well, is there any way we could work to this? And coming out and just kind of, attacking your DNA.
Oh, yeah.
There's different ways to do that. And I get at my regular paying job, I get that too all the time, where people just go berserk right off the bat, and then they get hung up on, and then they really get mad. Because I'm too old for that garbage. The you have to keep that spark going where you're enjoying yourself. And has that worked for you in VTubing since you did leave the guild?
I want to say yes and no. No, because I there a good portion of me saying no is understanding where Hyuna Ferrin, is where I still need to work on myself. And, recognizing that, like, if I'm looking at VTubing and all the stuff that I've done since then, it is, and I respectfully treat it as, like, it's just a Band-Aid, it's just a thing. It's not going to heal everything. It's there to help in a way.
Yeah.
And that hopefully one day, that no will turn into a full-on yes. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I understand that's just a part of life. And then on the yes side, when recognizing that with all the individuality of each individual, just the ways they represent themselves, the ways they do their streams, the way they cultivate their community, I believe that in itself is the biggest drive that helps re-spark whenever I'm in a rut of just like truly embracing being happy for others, like seeing someone maybe be sad that, like, oh, they're dropping their current design for something else, but you know what? That's fine. They're happier. That's awesome. And then even beyond of like the desire of, there are peoples that I believe that deserve like more eyes on them.
Right.
And I'm just like, I want to try. And I used to not really be a big fan of doing fan art in general, because of, how people say like, you're drawing Peach weird or yada yada. But nowadays I'm actually getting more comfortable doing that because it makes other people happy. And I'm just like, yeah, if I want to draw this person, I'll do it because I want to. And hey, look, they're smiling. Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great to have that sort of feedback and have that wind beneath your wings moment where you get that influx of confidence because somebody gave you that it doesn't have to be, taking out billboards and saying, Hyuna's the best at everything, type of thing. Just saying, oh, that's really good. I really enjoy that. Do more. And it just that little bit there is enough to put a smile on your face and pick up another piece of paper.
Yeah, like so I call my community Fables. Because, and I don't know, maybe I will do something with it with my lore, but I know one of the biggest fear of some people I know is like, getting older, forgetting things, reminiscing, but maybe not fully remembering things of the past. And the reason why I call my community Fables is because I see each and everybody as just their own story. And it sucks when people leave for whatever reason.
Right.
And it's just so, like, words.
Yep.
So even when they're gone, I would love to see that people still remember them. And even of the now of just like, hey, just, a little cheer over here. I'll be like, okay, cool. Even if it's as simple as like, they're not VTubing anymore, but they're being the normal Joe slow type of person at, some sort of fast food or whatever job. I'm like, you know what? That's great.
Yeah.
That's still good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very tough sometimes to separate that sort of thing from somebody's entertainment persona and what they put on to be on stage in front of people and it could just be an avatar and they're that same person, or it could be even in the radio days when there were a lot of disc jockeys out there. They would sometimes use different names and have kind of different personalities when they were on than when they were walking around. And sometimes they put on stupid voices when they did. And it was a completely different a lifestyle. It's tough to separate that when you're taking it in as opposed to being behind the curtain and realizing that. And there are some people that sometimes it gets to the point where the VTubers get drawn away from it and either believe the hype too much or get so hurt by something that they don't believe in themselves at all.
Oh, yeah.
Which is much worse, in my opinion. I can deal with people who are egotistical because, by golly, I know I am. But when you see somebody who's kind of lost that, spit the bit and lost the want to do it, that's always tough to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to see. What have you got? Have you got any big plans coming up for your channel here soon?
Well, let's see. We're at the end of January, but man, it feels like the end of 2026 at some point. These last couple of days. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But I do have I previously mentioned I do have a affiliate anniversary, kind of, sort of.
Yay.
I've always been pushing it back and changing it around. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for that. Specifically. Because it's around Valentine's Day, and I'm just like, do I want to do something with the holidays, love, whatever type of shindig. But one of the projects I am working on, and I don't know when it will be coming out, but I told myself there's a certain numbers that I want to do for this year. But at some point in my VTuber career, I have been wanting to do VTuber cosplays, and I have been in the works of one of them, and I've been wanting to just kind of try and figure out what I can do. Yeah. Hopefully that will be done by March, maybe?
Oh, cool.
I don't know.
Maybe when
cool.
it gets a little warmer.
Yeah.
I haven't been really wanting to be too much. I'm just like, nah, I'm not.
Well,
Gonna stay in my blankets.
Let's face it. Some of these VTuber costumes for their models are not winter based.
Oh no. Like, I've been trying to I've been trying to curate by grabbing people by color palettes, and I'm looking through them, and I'm just like, oh, I would love to draw you. I could get in trouble for wearing that outside. I'll put you in the maybe list.
That's right.
Or others are just like, how am I supposed to get 20-pound pauldrons on me? And
yes.
I guess I gotta learn smelting or something. Which in the end, I'm just like, it's the fun of just trying to figure things out, and also, come to terms, because I'm also just like, there are some people that I've heard that are just like, to have someone cosplay as me is will be fucking nuts, or oh, look at all those Iron Mouse and cosplayers or whatnot, and I'm just like, I'll cosplay you.
Yeah.
I'll be Gremlin you. Watch me.
I'm not putting anything past you. It's just great talking with you. We're going to have all the links we have for you up in the description for this video. Hyuna, thank you so much for coming on. Absolute pleasure. And
yes, it was lovely chatting with you. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.